Hello everyone, welcome to Hoop Life Sports and Entertainment. And in this video, it's going to be about Kyrie Irving's not wanting to talk to the media during the NBA training camp. And I'm going to have Stephen A's point of view on this issue of Kyrie not wanting to talk to the media. And in my opinion, I think he should be, talking to the media. I don't know, I think he's pretty much shying away from social media. I mean, not social media. He's shying away from the media because of the things he said, concerning that podcast when he was with Kevin Durant. And so I think he just don't want to talk about things. He's pretty much shying away, to be honest. I don't think that's a professional route to take. He just pretty much shying away. He don't want to answer any questions, about what he said. That's pretty much what it is, to me, in my opinion. But anyway, listen here what Stephen A has to say.
Self-involved nonsense.
I appreciate all of those sentiments, Max Kellerman. So let me get right to it and just answer the question. And I'm gonna try to be diplomatic, but I'm not gonna hold back. To answer the question directly, Molly and Max, Kyrie Irving should not be forced to engage with the media. He doesn't want to talk to the media, fine. We won't miss him. But here's the reality. He should be fined every damn day he doesn't talk. Because you signed a contractual agreement. It comes along with your contract as an NBA player. This notion that you just get to go out on the basketball court and play, but you don't answer questions, you don't talk to the media, whatever. Understand what the media is. The media is a conduit to assist the NBA and its players in promoting its brand. That way it facilitates you generating more revenue so guys like Kyrie can get paid $33.4 million this year, $35 million next season, and then a player option to pay him $36.6 million in 22-23, even though you fresh over playing 20 games last season. Okay, that's the situation with Kyrie Irving that everybody needs to address. The bottom line is this: Kyrie Irving, I'm going to talk about what he is, because I actually think he's a good guy. I actually think his heart is in the right place, but I think he's immature. I think that he's occasionally selfish, and I think at this particular moment in time, he comes off as a damn snob. He thinks people are beneath him, and he's above it. He looks at the media as being inauthentic. That's what he thinks about the media. Everything that has happened to Kyrie Irving, that Kyrie Irving has self-inflicted, go back and look at the tapes. Quote him. It's always the media. Always. You got something to say about LeBron? It's the media. You got something to say about your time in Boston? It's the media. You got something to say about wanting to move on? It's the media. You're in Brooklyn. Nobody has thought about you since the spring. You haven't played. The season was halted. You wasn't playing before then. You had shoulder surgery. You come in, and then you're not even participating in the bubble because you're recuperating from your right shoulder. And still, you wanted to sit up there and implement yourself in the proceedings by talking about how the game should not be played. You weren't playing anyway while collecting $33 million. But you had something to say. And then when people responded, it's the media. You go on Kevin Durant's podcast and literally state, which we'll get into later, but literally state that, you know what? I mean, you're the first guy that I looked at and I said, hey, I trust you to make the last shot. And the media made up that LeBron might have a problem with that. Damn, you was taking a shot at LeBron. And you go on social media and literally state, hey, well, you know what? If I had something to say about him, I would say their name. Like, how dare us connect the dots and say 1 + 1 = 2? You won a championship with a brother in 2016. Far be it for us to come to the conclusion that, oh my God, you might have been talking about LeBron. Who else did you play with?
Right.
Jason Tatum? Jaylen Brown? That's who you were talking about. Not LeBron, who you won a chip with, who happens to be the greatest player in the world for the past decade. In Kyrie's world, it's always us. It's never him. No matter what he says, no matter who he says it to, no matter what. Hey, Max, you brought up, I tried to stop you from condemning him for talking about how the world was flat. The earth was flat. Okay? Guess what? That was you, Max. That wasn't him, Max. That was you. That was you, Max. It was your fault. It was your fault that Kyrie said that, Max. You put those words into his mouth. You forced him to articulate and disseminate that message to the world. You did that, Max. It's never Kyrie until he sits back, takes a deep breath, pauses, and says, hey, you know what? As I reflect upon these things, I may have made a mistake here or there. You know, I got to be better than that. There's young kids watching. As you reflect. But in the moment, one moment, after another moment, after another moment, after another moment, it's always somebody else. So my response in closing is this. Yeah. If he doesn't speak, fine. We won't miss him. Show up on the court at the Barclays Center.
Devil's advocate.
Put on the show. Put on the show that you can put on because he is a sensational showstopper player. But if he doesn't want to talk, fine.
Yeah,
just remind him to get the NBA of his contractual obligation and find his ass every day he doesn't talk because that comes along with your contract. Other than that, it's none of our business.
Here's what.
Guys, can I play devil's advocate here really quickly since it seems you agree?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, so basically I was going to say this. You guys both have powerful voices in the media. Stephen A., sports media, probably more prominent than anyone's. And you've had things misconstrued before, right? You've had things taken out of context. People take clips, they grab them, etc. It's frustrating, sometimes infuriating. You want to go and defend yourself, or I don't know if you choose to just let it go. But I mean, there has to be some merit in what he's saying here. Could this actually, you know, we know his mentor was Kobe Bryant, right? Didn't he learn a lot from... Didn't he learn a lot from Kobe in terms of how to handle these things? Maybe he feels like this is the better protocol, the better way.
Kobe never released statements like this to my knowledge. Kobe always answered questions. I was there in LA for 5 years. Kobe was present to answer your questions and face the media. He wasn't going to push that off on a teammate. If he ever did, it's not to my recollection. And I addressed your point off the top, Molly, in the sense now to context. He could be taken out of context with this quote as well. Here's the real issue with Kyrie. All of his public pronouncements, or many of them to me, seem to be about ego protection. Stephen A., it's like it's said, it's never his fault, it's always someone else's fault, right? When you release a statement, you control the narrative, right? I think he's justifying it to him. He's going to control the narrative. See this? It's player empowerment or something. But let me tell you how it actually reads to most folks. You're scared to answer questions because you can't articulate your point well enough, right? It's not just the media is going to twist it around. It's that you put your foot in your mouth.
Right.
And this way, that's how it comes across. I'm afraid to answer questions because I don't do it well. Right. So here's my statement.
Yeah.
By the way, you don't do that well either, Kyrie. Your statements are not very clear. They're ambiguous.
I don't know if that's fair to him. Go ahead, Stephen A.
Molly, to get to your point, that's Mac's interpretation. And